Hi, everyone. This is Heather Havenwood. Welcome to Like a Boss, where we interview insights, influencers, and badasses like you. And so today I have someone really is badass, Jennifer Allwood. Jennifer, are you there?
I am here. Thank you so much, Heather, for having me. This is so much fun. Excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is going to be a ton of fun. I've heard about you. We have a lot of friends in common, as they say. One of those, like, we're passing in the night.
Yes, I know. I'm like, how have we never met before? Because we do. We have a lot of Facebook friends. I love that Facebook does that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, because we're all like, it's that 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon thing. So I love that. I love that we know a lot of the same people.
Yeah. When you said that, I'm like, oh, yeah. That is true. The Jennifer Bacon stuff. I'm sorry, the Kevin Bacon 7, what is it? The 6 degrees,
the 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon or something. It's some weird game. Yeah. I'm probably dating myself even bringing that up.
You are. It's okay. I'm right there with you, but it's okay. I'm like dating myself that I know that because I totally agree. Yes. It's interesting because the LinkedIn was when it first got like created. That was one of the theories that they created it by, because of the first connection, second connection. If you ever a lot of thought about that,
yes,
what it means actually second connected. It means that they there's some algorithm you have so many people connected that you basically are like 1 degree away.
Right. Well, it's so weird because it really, when I came to your profile and I'm like, oh, we know all the same, not all the same, but we know a handful of same people whose opinions I respect. So instantly, I'm like, okay, well, if this person likes her, then I'm going to like her. You know what I mean? It just gives that just that added bit of reinforcement that these are your people. So
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so your name definitely has come across in different aspects and people talking to me about you. So I'm super excited to interview you. Jennifer Allwood has successfully pivoted her painting career. I love that. I'm going to talk to you about that because I can see if you're on video, if you're just listening in podcast, you don't see this, but on video, you see this massive amazement. You're just outgoing hair and everything. And
it's wild, isn't it? Yeah.
I love it. No, I love it. Right. I love that. So that's really great. So you successfully pivoted your painting career of 16 years to coaching over 3,000 women every month on how to build their social media platforms and businesses online. She has over 500,000 social media fans and an incredibly successful podcast called The Jennifer Allwood Show.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes. Not very original on the name, but it just seems like we should keep it simple. So there you go.
Keep it simple. Hey, I'm good with that. All right, let's move into this. So one of the things I was talking to you in the green room, and I want to talk about this, and it's beautiful timing. God works in mysterious ways, right? Yes. So beautiful timing. I just went to a internet marketing party here in Austin, and we saw an amazing person. Wait.
You live in Austin?
Yeah, I live in Austin.
Okay, so all the cool people live in Austin.
They do.
They either live in Austin or Nashville. It's like God has some crazy anointing on those two.
We do. It's like
that's awesome.
So I live downtown Austin. So I went to this internet marketing party, and they had Rachel Miller, who's amazing.
Yes, friend of mine.
Just spoke about free Facebook groups.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, wow, she's got her numbers are just insane.
Yes.
And I was taking notes, and I'm like, God, Heather, I'm not very mother hen like that. You know what I mean? I want to just give great
to do a free Facebook group. Yeah.
Yeah. And so my gut was kind of turning, and I just started a free Facebook group, influencertribe.com. And because I was told to do that and to nurture, and I'm not, I know people are going to listen. I'm not very nurturer girl.
Yeah. Free Facebook groups aren't for everyone. They're not for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
they work really, really well for Rachel and the way that she has positioned her business. Right. But you and I both have more of a personal brand. Correct. And so, a free Facebook group is a little harder to do with that. And so, yeah, free Facebook groups are not really they're not my job.
They're not for everyone. Yeah. And so it's beautiful because I just had this conversation with someone who's actually been working with me in my Facebook group, mainly because I gave her the duty to go love on them because she's a mother and she's very loving and nurturing. So I was like, hey, will you go love on my people in my Facebook group for me? I outsourced nurturing. And so I talked to her today and I said, hey, I'm going to have you pull back. I did. I was like, can I outsource nurturing? Perfect.
Yes.
And I held her back and I said, I think I'm going to turn this to paid. Because I think I'm done with it. She goes, okay, great. How? And I'm like, I don't know. So 3 hours later, here we are.
Yeah.
So I want you to have you to give you the stage for a second.
Yes. Perfect.
Of the difference between paid and non-paid and
Perfect.
why. What's your take on it?
Yeah. Okay. I love this conversation so much. So, here's the thing with Facebook, and we talked about this for just a minute in your green room before we came on, is figuring out kind of what Facebook's terms of service are currently. Sometimes can feel like nailing Jello to a tree, is what I told you. So the last I knew, Facebook's stance was that you can't pay for a Facebook group. But, all groups are free. But a group often accompanies the purchase of a course, or the purchase of a DIY video, or the purchase of an ebook, or the purchase of, X, Y, Z. And then you've got the Facebook group where all the community can happen. So with that being said, I currently have a paid group called the Inner Circle. We have over 2,000 people paying $47 a month. So you can do the math on that. That's a 7-figure a year paid group. But we've got like this whole library of content, and they get all of the emails and the training, both emailed and inside of the Facebook group. I have another group, since my background was for painters, with almost 400 people who come to my group just to learn 2 new painting techniques every month. That's 350 people times $47 a month in that group. And I don't even do anything in that group, Heather. I literally have 2 celebrity painters come in every month, and they do the paint finishes for me. And I'm just providing a playground for 350 people to play within. And then offsite, of course, we do have the Paint Finish of the Month library with all the old content in it. In addition, I have a course that we launch once a year. And in addition to purchasing my course, they have the option of upgrading for the Facebook component. That way we could do the community piece. And I have another 500 people in that group. So with that being said, I don't have any free groups. And I have over 500,000 social media fans. And so here's what I know about free groups, okay? And I actually did a podcast episode on this myself, Heather. I have like 8 reasons I don't like free groups. And I'm just going to give you a couple of them right off the top of my head. Number 1, they are a heck of a lot of work, aren't they? Can you hear me, Heather?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just laughing at what you're saying over here. I put myself on mute because I was laughing so hard. Because
I'm like, I can't hear her.
So sorry.
She looks like she's giggling.
I was doing like the giggling, laughing, going, girl, you have no idea. I'm like not the nurturing one, right?
Yes.
I'm a directive. I'm a disc. So the last thing I need to do is try to nurture people, right?
Right.
So, and I could nurture clients. It's very different, but it's like nurturing a hen or something for free.
It's a different clientele. That's why. Because there's people that want free. Since I came out of an industry of like decorative painting, Heather, this is the example I use. Have you ever been to like a home show in Austin where it's like the latest and greatest gutters and air conditioning units and ski-doos and whatever? And the people that go to those, a lot of times they're like putting their names in the free, I'd like to win a free air conditioner. I'd like to win a free. That's the type of people you're going to attract to a free group. Are they usually going to be able to convert into paying clients? So often not, because they just want stuff for free. And that's not who you're trying to attract. Yeah. So number 1, there is so much work that goes into a free group. People want your attention, but then in addition to the work, they are much less likely, in my opinion, to become actually paid clients for you because they have nothing invested in your free content. They haven't paid anything for it. They're just there because it's a party and they just want to sit in and get all the free they can have. And so that's not generally for me. For someone that's building a personal brand like I am, we just are getting ready to sign my first official book deal with a publishing house. Fantastic. Excited about it. We had multiple book offers that I'm so excited about. None of them asked me, Jennifer, do you have people in a free group? Because they don't care. But here's what they do care about. How many people do you have following you on social media? How many people are on your page? How many people do you actually have on Instagram? They don't care that I have, thousands of people holed up in a group somewhere. They want to know, can this woman get people to follow her on a public platform? Is she creating some sort of a movement? Is she really like attracting like-minded individuals? Because if so, then she can sell books. So, if you ever have an idea of a book coming down the pipe, they don't care about how many people you have in free groups. I work very closely with like Hobby Lobby. They have me go to their home offices or to shoot videos on times. I've also go into their stores and do a lot of free content for them. And well, not free content. They pay me for that, but it's free on my page. And the reason they pay me to do that is because I have a lot of people on my page, not in a group. And so, when you look at like the amount of effort that a group is, and that big brands don't care, book deals don't care how many people you have in a group. I just think it's so much wiser not to do free. I tell people all the time, do it on your page. Plus, Facebook's been saying forever that eventually you're going to be able to run ads to a group. but I haven't seen it roll out yet. And I'm like, well, I'm sitting here growing older by the second, but I can run ads to anybody. Like if I'm going to do a Facebook Live, I'm going to do it on my page. That way I can then, when I have my course open, I can run ads to anybody who watched that Facebook Live. I'm not going to like hide it away in a group. We did break my no free group rule just once, Heather, and it was earlier this spring. We were getting ready to launch my Creators Roadmap course. I teach people in that course how to make money 6 different ways in the online space. And it's a great course. It's, a $1,000 course. We had over 700 people that purchased it this time. It's an amazing course. And so I did a free pop-up group for 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do just this free group on Facebook for 2 weeks to try to see if we could get a lot more sales. And we had over 13,000 people get into that free group. And yet our sales did not, there was no like huge, was it better than the last launch? Absolutely, by quite a long shot, but it still wasn't where I thought it would be based on the number of people I got into the free group. And I'm telling you, it's because they're not my ideal client. A lot of them don't have the funds to go to the next level with me. So those are just some of the reasons why I am not a fan of free groups.
Not a fan of free groups. First of all, I just want to acknowledge that. First of all, thank you. This is great because I go back to my one-on-one direct sales days, and that is if it's a free audience and they have nothing invested, they're not going to take action. And even on a free email list, at least they have to give you something private. There's something even higher.
Yeah, there's an exchange.
There's an exchange for something there. I used to do real estate seminars across the country, and the people would come for a free event. People were like, well, it's free. I'm like, no. They had to get up. They had to get dressed. They had to get out of the house. They had to drive. They had to park. They had to get out of the car. Like there is so much invested when you're doing a free, quote unquote, 90-minute presentation. They had to sit there. They had to get their attention. That is massive investment.
Totally.
Okay. 100%. Investment doesn't always mean dollars, but there's a psychology of that, right? So I love this. I'm going to go back to you. So if someone's listening going like me, like really, I only have 100, like I have a huge email list. I got a huge social media following, not as big as yours, but mine's, I got there. I'm good. I'm getting there. And I just started this free group. I don't like it. I only have like 120 people. I'm about to knock you out if you're in, sorry. How do you get started and go? How do you move that? How do you move that?
So, I mean, here's what you could do. You could easily go inside of that free group and be like, look, friends, and just be super transparent. In fact, I'd suggest a Facebook Live inside of the group because you're obviously great on video. You're very conversational, so it'll be easier for you to talk it out than write it out. So I would just be like, hey, look, so we tried this free group thing. And I'm going to tell you what, it's not working. I don't think it's working for me. And I also don't think it's working for you. So position it in that way and be like, I can't give you guys the best of me because I don't like that it's free. I don't like that. I feel like I don't have enough time for you. So here's what I'm thinking. I think we're going to reposition this for those of you who are interested in, doing something with me. We're going to make some sort of a course with the paid Facebook group that comes with it, or, offer a one instructional video or whatever. And so it's going to be now a paid group, and we're going to do it over here. And I'm literally going to be shutting this baby down in the next, week, 2 weeks, month, whatever you want to do. But so often entrepreneurs will feel guilty about shutting down something that they've been given away for free. Honey, don't feel bad at all. Shut that light off. I mean, that's too much work. And here's the truth, honestly, Heather. One of the reasons people started doing groups is because the amount or the reach of doing posts on your page was so bad. Yeah. And I'm sure Rachel Miller talked about that. And she's absolutely 100% right. She's right about everything, by the way. Here's what I also tell people. When it comes to topics like this, it's almost like a diet. Like any of them that you do and do it right and do it well are going to work. Like keto will work, whole food will work, Weight Watchers will work, Atkins will work. It'll all work if you stick to it. And so, but it's just, what's the best fit for you and your business model? What I have talked about is that, like, in terms of, so I have 350,000 Facebook fans on Facebook right now, right? Okay, like 10,000 of those see a post. It is dismal compared to what it was a few years ago. It's like, it's so sad. And so that's the reason people are like, well, okay, let's start a group, because inside the group, everybody's going to see everything. Well, then the algorithm has switched in the last year. And now groups are on the same algorithm that the page is on. So it's interesting, of my 2,000 entrepreneurs in my $47 a month group, They don't see all the posts, not even close. They have to go up and click, make sure they see all from me. So what was originally one of the reasons people went into groups so that everybody would see everything, that's no longer valid. So again, that just goes back to my point of, so don't have a free group. Do everything you're going to do on your page, push people to a paid course, a paid something, and they get the Facebook group free when they pay for your XYZ.
And so when you do paid, it would be a private group at that point.
Yeah.
Private. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
So that way, because otherwise you're going to get 100 people a day saying, hey, Heather, I want in your group. So one of your questions needs to be, did you pay for the XYZ course? Excellent. What's the email address you use to sign up for it? Because when people come into the group, you can ask them 3 questions. Did you know that? It's like there's a little thing that you can turn on in groups and to ask people 3 questions. So I would say, did you buy my XYZ course? Excellent. What's the email address you use? Because sometimes, Susie Q at Gmail will, for some reason, sign up for your course with her husband Todd's email address. And then you're trying to put things together. And so that can make groups really confusing. And then the last thing I would ask is, what do you feel like is your biggest struggle right now concerning whatever topic, you would be talking on? That way it'll help you develop content down the road. If you see that, 80% of the people coming in are struggling with how do they make sales or how do they get their revenue up? Well, now you know that inside of that group, that's kind of maybe what one of the main focuses needs to be. So always ask questions for people coming in the group, and you need to make it either private or secret so that you just don't have 9 million people trying to get into it every day. Because that's a full-time job too.
What's the difference between private and secret?
Okay, so private, they have to be invited. I always get these messed up in my head. Secret, they have to be invited. They can't even find it. Private, they can find it, and they can see how many people you have in there, but they can't get in.
Ah, okay.
And the other is public, which is what most free groups are set to. And anybody can find it, and anybody can join, and it's just a free-for-all. And I can't stand the free-for-all. And I think that you and I may be, twinning on our logic.
Yeah.
I got to have some order, and the free-for-all just drives me batty. And I think to myself, if it's driving me batty, then the people that are in that group that perhaps would be ideal clients for me, it's driving them batty too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a DIS, I'm a D, I'm a hard D, in the new, they call this something, I'm an 8. I'm just like I'm a director type. I'm not a nurturer kind of person.
Yeah.
So it just
I'm
doesn't work.
the opposite. I'm an S. I'm a high S on the DIS personality profile. So I'm a sweetheart. I'm very kind and things, but when you have 2,000 women in a paid group, we have a full-time community manager, and that's all she does is take care of my groups for me, because it's a lot of conversation, a lot of people, and I have 4 children and, a marriage. And so I can't be in my group all day. You know what I mean? And also I think that sometimes you have to really train your group on, okay, so at a $47 price point, I'm not going to coach you in the same way I do for my $1,000 course. I'm not going to answer every single question.
Right.
Go over here to the library, which is, on my website or even in the units of your Facebook group. And there's content there that can answer your questions. And so we do have a full-time person just to direct people on where they need to go, because there's still so many questions.
Right. Okay, so you're a full-time community manager, 1 or 2?
Do what? Say that again.
How many community managers do you have?
Just 1. I have 1 full-time community manager. Yep.
So you're at 2,000 people. That's pretty impressive. When did you start the group?
Yep, I started a little over 3 years ago, and I got to 100 paying members pretty quickly at the $47 a month, and then we kind of had a big push to 300, and then suddenly we were at 700, and then we kind of stalled. And I was like, what is the problem here? And I just couldn't figure out why I couldn't get past that. And I have a friend, Stu McLaren. I don't know if you know who Stu is. He's like, Jennifer, you need to shut your group down. Don't let any new people into it for a while. And that will actually bring a bunch of new members. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm trying to get from 700 to 1,000 members. I don't want to shut it down. I'm trying to get more people in. And he's like, no, but if you only open it a couple times a year instead of keeping it open all the time, you will actually get a bigger push of people. And so that's when we had 1,100 new members in just a few days by closing it. And so now we're only open a couple of times a year.
Okay, so you open, close kind of thing a couple times a year. Oh, that's smart. I love Stu. That's really actually smart. That's intelligent. So what is your promise of, what's the name of the group? Meaning, where do you send people to a website to learn about the group and then they buy? How does that work?
Yeah. And any of your people could go look at it. It's creatorsinnercircle.com. Since my background was decorative painting, I have such a heart for creative entrepreneurs. So that means makers. We have a lot of crafters, even though I'm not a crafter. We have a lot of wreath makers, fine artists, calligraphy people, people that make soaps, women especially who are raising babies, trying to do a business on Etsy. By the way, I don't like Etsy, and I'm very vocal about that as well. And so it's a lot of that. It's a lot of creatives. And so the site is creatorsinnercircle.com. And there's a wait list page there, but you can kind of get an idea. We basically give, in that $47 a month group, I'm teaching them how to use social media to build their business. So there's lots of outlines on what you need to be doing on Facebook, how many times you need to be doing it a day. How are you going to grow your Instagram this month? I am a huge believer in that every business needs to be on Pinterest. Everyone. I don't care if it's dog walking, it needs to be on Pinterest. And we get a ton of traffic from Pinterest. So we talk about those things and building your email list, because the truth is, you can have all the social media followers in the world, and it sounds like you've already figured all of this out, Heather, but you don't own any of that real estate. That is all. I mean, Facebook could decide tomorrow that they, hate me, my page is gone, and then I'm kind of up a creek.
Yeah.
And email list is the only thing you own. So those are the things we focus on really hard in that group every single month, is using social media as a way to get more sales, building your numbers.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm going to ask you about Pinterest in a second. So would you say that majority of your traffic to your group is coming from where? What's the customer journey?
It's coming from my email list. So there's lots of freebies that I give away on Facebook, on occasion on Instagram, in particular to business owners. So we have like a prayer book for entrepreneurs. We have for the entrepreneur who's trying to figure out which idea she should actually start a business on. We have like a starter pack for entrepreneurs when they're first getting started. So we like to give them all of that for free. Then get into my group. That's the next step for you, so that I can teach you now that you've got a business started, because I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm still thinking about what I should do when you come into my group. It's going to be like drinking water from a fire hydrant. And then they're going to end up quitting because they're like, I don't even have a Facebook page yet. And Jennifer's talking about, why we need to be doing Facebook Lives twice a week. So it's just going to be too much too soon. So I teach them how to start their stuff and then get their social media all up and going, then come to my group and I'm going to teach you how to grow the heck out of it. So that's kind of the customer journey.
Love it. Oh, that's great. I love that. So you're saying that majority of your buyers are coming from some opt-in. I'm looking at the customer journey, right? So,
it's an opt-in, and then I'm following up with emails. So
okay. And then sending them to the group to purchase and things like that.
Exactly.
Okay, great. I love that. That's super awesome. Woo! So let's talk about Facebook fan pages. How are you leveraging or using that at all right now?
Well, I use it a ton. And, it was so much easier to grow a page 5 years ago. It's like, I kind of feel like my parents. I'm like, those were the good old days, Heather. The good old days on social media 5 years ago. But I still say Facebook is the best thing that's ever happened to my business, even though the game is harder to play and you have to be more intentional about it now. And so, a couple of things about a fan page. You got to be on it every day. You've got to be on it at least once every day. And the reason is because Facebook has in their algorithm, what they're trying to determine is, does your audience, the one you've already built, let's say you have 1,000 followers, do they actually want to see you? Well, let's say you post today and then you wait 2 weeks. Well, it's like Facebook during that 2 weeks, they're showing anything you're going to put on, they're going to show it to less and less people, because what you're saying to them when you're not posting regularly is that you're not serious about business and you're not really relevant. Because if you look at a really serious, relevant business, let's even just think about like Taco Bell, Dove soap, those people are posting like BuzzFeed 30, 40, 50 times a day. Now, we don't need to do that, but that's why they keep growing at such a huge rate. Number one, they post really great content that goes viral. Number two, they post very, very frequently. And so, they've got those two things. So we need to learn from that and realize that consistency is key. Showing up day after day after day. In 5 years, Heather, I have never once missed a day on Facebook. Not even one time. Not even once have I missed a day.
So you're doing like Facebook Lives, you mean like every single day?
I'm doing a Facebook post. I do 4 posts at least every single day. Nice. Now, in the last couple of months, Facebook's algorithm, which is constantly changing, has started so that if I do a post that gets crickets, and a lot of them do, that's actually hurting me, in my opinion, worse than it would be if I just did 2 posts that day instead of 4. So I'm changing my stance away from you need to post 4 times a day to at least you need to post something daily that is relevant, that people want to tag their friends, share with other people, or, you're going to have a lot of comments on it. But then Facebook Lives, at least twice a week. You have to. And the reason you have to is because Facebook has said, we will show Facebook Live content to more people than anything else on our platform, 6 to 7 times the audience of anything else. So I can do a post and it reached 10,000 people. I can do a Facebook Live, and by the following morning, it will have already reached 50 to 70,000.
What about doing Facebook Live on personal pages versus fan pages?
Absolutely no, never.
No, so on fan page only?
Yep, fan page only. Because and one of the reasons is you're not supposed to be doing business at all on your personal page. Facebook, if they find out, and it's not like there's a million people sitting there looking at all these individual pages. It is by algorithm. But if they find out you're doing business on a personal page, they can shut your personal page down. I know a woman who was multi-7 figures a year in the health and wellness industry, who had her personal profile with 5,000 friends completely shut down, wiped out her income overnight because she was selling, her health and wellness things on her personal profile. Listen, when I'm personal friends with you, Heather, I want to see your cat. I want to see what you had for dinner. I want to see date night with, your friends or whatever. I don't want to see your greens drinks that you're selling. I don't want to see your powders. I don't want to see your leggings. I don't want to see all the things. Now you're irritating the heck out of me, and I can't stand being friends with you on Facebook, but I know that if I unfriend you, you'll know, and then you're going to hate me. So I unfollow you. Don't think that people aren't doing that, because they're doing it left and right. Do you know how many people I've unfollowed that I literally, see at church on Sunday? I love them, but I don't want to hear about your MLM business on Facebook. You need a business page that I can choose to follow. And Mark Zuckerberg, he's adamant about that too. He wants Facebook to be for community and relationship. So when you're pitching people on your personal page, number one, you are, you're suspect. So
right.
Like, shut that stuff down. Number two, people are hiding you. They love you, but they're hiding the heck out of you. I promise you they are. Most of the time, your friends and family are not your ideal clients anyway. You're pitching the wrong people.
On your fan page, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you now. Yeah.
On the fan page part, because I'm a personal brand, so and so are you. And I haven't been to your page. Are you just branding your name, Jennifer Allwood?
Yep, I just have my name, and it used to be the Magic Brush, which was the name of my painting company. And when we hit about 100,000 followers, I switched it to Jennifer Allwood because I knew we would be getting rid of the painting company, and I knew I was going into coaching, so it just made sense to me.
It made sense.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's great. So, okay, so I'm just going to ask you, because we were talking about the customer journey into your membership group and into your, would you call that a coaching group?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. And so inside the structure of that group, if I'm in there, you always have a community manager, but how much do I get of you?
So you get one piece of content every week from me. So at the beginning of the month, I do something called What's Working Now. That way I can pre-record it and I don't have to show up live. So, Heather, as somebody that has a busy business and a podcast and all the things to manage, I can't always be there every Wednesday at 10 a.m. And Wednesday at 10 a.m. is when all of our content comes out. But I can possibly record it on Sunday night after the kids go to bed, or Monday at 6 in the morning, and then we'll post it in the group on Wednesday. So basically the What's Working Now is I just give all the updates that I'm seeing all over social media right now. So a new way to reply to people quickly on Instagram. Why on Instagram, you should be making sure that you have when you post a photo, make sure you post 5. So it's a carousel of photos, because Instagram is counting that as higher reach. Like, there's lots of little tricks like that I'm sharing with them every month. What kind of a stand to use for your Facebook Live. Used to be that Facebook wanted you on live for 15 minutes. Now they're saying 3 to 4. And so I'm just giving people like quick, this is not fluff, because you know what entrepreneurs don't freaking need fluff. They need the meat and potatoes, get to it, and then get out of my group and go do your work.
Right.
And so the What's Working Now is on the first Wednesday. The second Wednesday of every month, I have what's called a masterclass, and I bring in somebody smarter than me about something I know nothing about, or something I do know something about, but they can just add variety to the group. So today we actually had our masterclass. You and I are recording this on a Wednesday. And so we had 3 different people that also have membership groups that are in a completely different industry than mine. They're not like a coaching group. So we brought them in just to talk about what's really working well for them in their paid groups right now. What do they charge? What's the group called? How much content are you giving them? What do you wish that you had done sooner? What's your secret to getting more people in? So we did that today. The third Wednesday of every month, I do reviews on people's Facebook page, their Instagram accounts, or their website. So I just literally pull it up. I pull their face up. I ask them what they want me to review. I go to it. I share the screen with the entire group and I tell them, this is why I think you're not getting more sales. This is what's wrong with your sales page. This is what's wrong with your homepage. Hey, I can't even find out how to contact you on your website. So I'm giving feedback, real time. And then the last Wednesday of every month, we do a live 1.5-hour phone call where I can pull up anybody's face on the screen and answer any question concerning business at all. So they get me 4 times a month. Yeah.
That's great. Oh my God, that's great. That's a good structure too for that.
Hey, thanks. Well, it's taken us 3.5 years to get to that structure, but it works really well for me. And I believe it works really well for the people in there.
Yeah, no, it's great because you're touching them. You have touch points. You're giving them value. You're consistent with that. Don't be like freaked out if I like completely steal that because that was awesome.
I'm glad you loved it.
Just so you know, like I got it. Public. Someone's listening. I will be stealing from you as my.
I'm going to tell you to do what I tell my teenage boys. They'll like put a picture on Instagram and I'll be like, photo cred. I mean, you're supposed to give your mom photo cred. So just give me group cred at some point. Just kidding. I'm kidding you. I'm totally kidding.
One of my friends said, it's not stealing, it's research.
There you go.
I was like, she's like, if you ask more than 2 people the same question, it's research.
It's research. That's amazing and brilliant. I love it.
I was like, done, sold. Okay, so research. Yes. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so a couple things on that. So social media, I mean, obviously you have a huge presence and that's pretty powerful. Why did you focus and where? So first of all, is there a specific one you focus on more than other at this point from a social media perspective?
So I have the 355,000, I think, on Facebook. And that was my baby forever, Heather. And I thought there is no baby I could love better than the Facebook baby until Facebook started going sideways and just not showing stuff to people. And I have literally, and so then like for a hot minute, I loved Pinterest and I still love Pinterest, but even Pinterest, even though it's not a social media, literally Pinterest is just sexy Google. That's all it is. It's sexy Google for those of us that are women who love anything that's beautiful, who are very visual. That's what Pinterest is for us. I go to Pinterest before I go to Google to look at things to do in Hawaii. Does that make sense? That's where I go first. It's a Google. It's just better. And so, so my new favorite right now, and of course you could do Snapchat. There's so many other things you can do, but it is Instagram. Yeah. But there's, what I'm talking to all of my entrepreneurs about is we've got to be really careful with Instagram because I always suggest you focus on Facebook from a numerical standpoint. Like every PowerPoint presentation I ever give shows the chart. This many followers are on Facebook. It's like 7 billion with a B. And then the next one's like 2 billion and it's like WhatsApp or whatever. I don't even know what that is. And then there's YouTube and then there's, Instagram and then Pinterest like keeps going down. So it has to be focused on Facebook because it's the giant. That's where the majority of the people are. Even if you don't like Facebook, you still need to do Facebook. Just have somebody else handle it for you, but make sure they sound like you. And then number 2, you've got to have one other social media besides Facebook because if you ever lose your page, which then you could lose your group and your personal profile. Like you could lose any of that. You are so screwed if you don't have another social media in addition to your email list. So I really love Instagram right now, but the issue is now Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same people. And so I'm concerned, well, right now I have about, a 5% reach on any post on my Facebook page and a 30% reach on Instagram. I'm like, yes, I have fewer followers here, but the ones I have, I think are A, more committed. Yeah. And B, more of them see it. But the reason I love Instagram so much right now, hands down, is Instagram stories.
And I'm the best. We're going to do one here in a second because I do stories for my video.
Oh, I can't wait. That's awesome. Yeah, I love Instagram stories, and I feel like there's no better way to make a sale than through Instagram stories. And by that, I mean 90% of your Instagram stories better have nothing to do with whatever it is you're trying to sell. But then when you do come in hot with something for sale, you have built such a know, like, and trust factor, and people are obsessed with watching your stories and they watch them first every day. And if you happen to have a day where you don't have a story, like I did a couple months ago, then people are DMing you, asking you if everything's okay, because they've gotten used to seeing you show up every day at the top of their Instagram. Instagram stories are one of the very best ways right now to build a business. 100%.
What's your take on LinkedIn?
I don't do LinkedIn at all.
Oh, you don't? Oh, wow. Okay.
Not even remotely. I think I have an account that's like 400 years old there, but nope, I don't. That's not my jam in the least.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I got it.
I don't even know how to spell LinkedIn. Is it one word? Is it 2 words? I mean, who really knows? In fact, I'm pretty sure on my podcast at some point I've made a really bad joke like, are people even still using LinkedIn? I know that they are, but just not me. Yeah. Like I think about a girlfriend of mine who is a recruiter, and she's always on LinkedIn because that's her business. But like in my space of decorative painters, that was where the business I was coming out of. Right. It just wasn't, we were on Pinterest. We were on Sexy Google, remember? And but now that I do full-time business coaching and have for the last 4 years, I'm sure I probably should have a presence on LinkedIn, but it feels like one more thing. And I would rather double down on the things that I'm already good at, that I already understand, that are already like really doing well for my business, than try to figure out another stinking thing. Part of me just feels a little bit rebellious, Heather. Like I'm too old. I don't feel like learning another thing. I just figured out Snapchat filters. Leave me alone. That's what I want.
Right. I still have not figured out Snapchat filters. So
you just need some teen kids that they can teach you all the
I know.
Or an 11-year-old daughter. She'll teach you also.
I need to rent a kid.
Yes, rent a kid.
I'm sure people would have my kid for a couple of
I have a Snapchat account, and we do have an 11-year-old daughter, and then the age limit is 12 on Snapchat. So I don't let her have her own Snapchat. Her brothers do, our 15 and 17-year-old. But so she uses my Snapchat to put like the crazy filters on her face, and then she's sharing it to all my followers. I'm like, stop doing that. These people think I'm doing business on Snapchat. And, you've got this crazy photo of you with looking like a crazy Catwoman going out to all my people.
That's
I just need to delete it.
That's all. That's fun though. Okay. So I could talk to you forever, at least have a glass of wine or something along the way. Where can people find you?
Absolutely. Go to jenniferallwood.com. Just look me up on Instagram, Facebook, not Snapchat, at Jennifer Allwood. Or LinkedIn. Don't do that either. But you can find me at Jennifer Allwood, Pinterest, all over. So, and on Facebook, it's got the blue check behind my name. So it's easy to find. Yeah.
Very nice. That's cool.
Thank you so much. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. This has been a lot of fun. This is basically how to start from scratch paid Facebook group. I guess what I'm going to ask that one, I didn't really tell you how to start from scratch. Say, what would you say first thing to do? Start with right now.
This is good. Okay, so if you were thinking, okay, I want to do a paid group because I really want recurring monthly revenue. That's the enticing part. I mean, as long as I keep people happy every month, that's coming into my bank account month after month after month. And so then you don't have to hustle, for it every single month. And so first thing you need to do is figure out, well, what would your group be about? What kind of content would you give them? What would your price point be? And, then you need to start like kind of seed planting with your audience. And that means just asking them questions. Like what I originally did, Heather, is I waited until people, it wasn't that I like had this master plan of, having this big paid group. People just kept asking me the same questions over and over, and I kind of got sick of answering them. I mean, even though you're in high D and I'm a high S, I think both of us have little capacity for, repetition, nonsense, et cetera. We're busy women. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, I want to answer her because I'm precious and sweet, and I want to be able to tell her why her Facebook's, crappy. Okay, let me write this down real quick. And so I just kept doing that, messaging people back, emailing people back. And then I started getting this sick feeling in my gut, like, come on, I'm doing this for free. And I just took 20 minutes with a stranger, and I don't know if she's going to do anything with that content. And, I'm starting to get irritated because I'm giving away, like, it wasn't that I was giving away my secrets, but I was really giving away my time and energy to people that I wasn't sure, are they even going to do anything with it? And so then I was like, well, let me see about starting a paid group. And that way there's some financial investment from them, which makes them more likely to do something with it. So I just literally started going on social media and being like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this thing. What would be your thoughts? People DMing me, people commenting. And I'm like, okay, there's interest. What would be the thing that you'd most want to know? And what people were currently asking me most about is, how did you get so many social media followers? How do I do that? And that's something I can talk about in my sleep. It doesn't cause me anxiety. It's not like I have to sit down and go, oh my gosh, what am I going to teach people today about Facebook? It's something I just feel like I get, you know what I mean?
You get it, right, yeah.
And so I'm like, this will be a no-brainer. I'll start teaching people about Facebook. And so that's what we did. And so I just think you need to figure out what kind of content you're going to teach, what you're going to call it, how you're going to get people in it, and how you're going to take payments is the biggest thing. How are you going to take payments? I suggest PayPal. They have a recurring option, or Stripe. But you can talk about a group all you want and have tons of people, yes, this is going to be awesome. But if they don't have a way of giving you a credit card, then, what's the point? So that has to come first. There has to be a way for people to actually give you money, something set up online.
Got it. Okay. And what is the website again so people can go check it out?
Yeah, go check out jenniferallwood.com. If you have people here who are just kind of starting out, maybe Heather, and they're like, trying to figure out what to do first or how to get their Facebook page up, they could go to jenniferallwood.com/starter pack. And we have a total freebie over there that teaches you what your Facebook page name should be, what it shouldn't be. Don't be doing anything cute like putting an X where there needs to be a, ING or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because people can't find you then. And so I give some great free tips about getting started on your business on social media at jenniferallwood.com/starter pack.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here. I definitely could talk to you more, but we have out of time.
Yes, you're awesome.
This is Heather Havenwood. Check me out, of course, heatherhavenwood.com. Let's check Jennifer out at jenniferallwood.com/starter pack. Go check that out. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Heather. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. This is Like a Boss, Insights with Influencers, Entrepreneurs, and Badasses like you. Please listen to us on Spotify, iHeart, Roku, iTunes, Google Play, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. This is Heather Havenwood. Check us out.